I have somehow weaseled my way into the Apple September launch event, and here are all the new features of the Apple Watch, and I'm going to test it to see if it's worth your time and money. How did I get in here, guys? Come on. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just, going into Apple. How did I weasel this? First, let's start off with the main new features of the Apple Watch Series 11. It's thinner, more comfortable, and more durable than the previous model. 2 times more scratch resistant, allowing for 5G coverage, which makes it better, faster, and more battery efficient. And probably their biggest thing is the heart health tracking, which is someone who, cardiovascular disease runs in the family. This is really exciting. It has blood pressure monitoring. It's a little false. What it will do is it will send alerts if it notices hypertension. So it's not like how you can monitor your heart rate and you just open it up and see what your heart rate pressure is. Rather, it will monitor, set a baseline, and if it notices anything unusual, it will alert you. So the idea behind this is to more alert people. Like, I think I'm a prime example of someone who look healthy. Everything seems to be fine, but deep down, I actually do have genetic dispositions for heart health issues. So it might alert me, and their goal is in the next year to have about 1 million people alerted about having hypertension they weren't aware of. Next big feature, sleep, and their own sleep score, which is very exciting. It's just like all the other sleep trackers. It has its own algorithm and combines quantity, quality, consistency, your REM, your different sleep stages to combine a sleep score that you'll get every night, which leads me to Keltie. Your Apple Watch can't stay charged throughout the night. The new Apple Watch Series 11 does have 24-hour battery life. Of course, we all want more. We do want 7 days, we do want 24, but at least it just means you pop it on the charger once a day, maybe when you're in the shower, but you can wear it all night long, which is very exciting. As for colors, for just the basic series, they have a jet black, silver, rose gold, space gray. They also then have the titanium series, Nike, and Hermes, sorry. Now let's talk the Apple Watch Series SE, so the more affordable option. This has the updated SL10 chip, so it will be a ton faster. Always on display, which is new to the SE family. Gestures supported. So if you didn't know, Apple Watch has all these different gestures you can do just with your hands to control it, whether it be answer a call, things like that. The SE now has that feature. A bunch of the other health features like ovulation estimates, sleep apnea notifications, and now it can actually play media through its speaker. So if you forget your AirPods, you can play some music on your Apple Watch SE. And it has faster charging and all-day battery life to make it more improved that you can wear it all day long. And the last of the updates is, of course, in the Ultra family, which to love or hate, I won't lie, it makes it look like I'm wearing an iPad on my wrist, but do I still wear it? Yes. And this is really, Ultra is meant for those out in the bushes, hiking, scuba diving, doing more intense endurance events. That's really what it's catered towards, and this is where they really leveled it up. With a new display, which is brighter and a thinner border, so it means with a thinner border, it's a bigger display. You get to see more without having to make the Apple Watch any more obnoxiously bigger. They have all the new workout app features, so you can use like Workout Buddy, 5G cellular compatible as well. And then the biggest change is probably the satellite connectivity, which is 2 times better, which means you can satellite text, you can have it on Find My Friends, and it's really a safety feature for those out in the wilderness. The Apple Ultra is more likely to alert those if you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. And it comes in a black and the natural titanium. The natural titanium is now made from 100% titanium materials. And it also has all the other features that, of course, the Apple Watch Series 11 had, like the hypertension alert. Let's be real. Everything I just said previously sounded like a commercial. You guys want how it actually reacts in real life. And luckily for you, I have access to all 3, and I've been testing all weekend to tell you the features that I've actually noticed and if they're worth your time and money. Let's talk about it. Right off the back, let's just talk the comparison to the 3. I won't lie, I cannot tell the difference off the bat between the Series 11 and the SE. So in terms of look the exact same. I will note, when you look at it finer in detail, the Series 11 is just a little sleeker and a little bit bigger. But honestly, at first glance, you can't tell the difference. Unlike the Ultra, which is definitely still given iPad on my wrist. Do I still wear an Ultra every day? Yes, because of the convenience, which we'll talk about later. But that's a real difference off the bat. But here you can see the difference of the size of them on the Ultra versus the Series 11, which would be the same as the SE looks on my wrist. I will note I wear a 42mm in the Series Series 11 versus the Ultra only comes in the 47 millimeter. So if I were to get a 47 millimeter Series 11, it would look quite similar on my wrist. Number one biggest feature is battery life. I did test, and yes, it did indeed last 24 hours and stood up to 15-minute charging equals about 8 hours of battery life. And to those Garmin lovers, yes, it's still not 7 days. I'm not going to defend Apple, but I will acknowledge that you do have to think Apple Watch is a smartwatch with a ton of activity features and health features slowly being added versus Garmin's and all that are activity trackers first versus smartwatches. So I will give Apple the benefit of the doubt. I still, yes, trust me, I wish it had 7 hours, but the amount of power they put into these things, we're not there yet. So the newest feature that I love the most is sleep score. It did exactly what it said. It tracked my sleep. There you have the 3 main components of it, which I like. It's quite simple. It really just talks about duration, consistency, and quality of your sleep. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Every day you have a score out of 100, and it gets better with time because it will understand what your consistency, what time you're going to bed, what time you're getting up. And there's just a little out of 30 and out of 20 score. And I like that. It's a lot more straightforward. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's going to depend on you, but I just felt it was a lot simpler than some other trackers I see that, just have this ambiguous numbers and you see what it's made up. But this is pretty self-explanatory. Like out of 50 points, you got 43. Probably my favorite upgrade, which is so simple, but I absolutely love, is the new workout layout. They still have it that, yes, you track your workouts on your Apple Watch. You don't need your phone near you. You can just do it on your Apple Watch, and it looks a little bit more polished. But what you can do now is you can also see it on your phone. And I don't know why, but I find it convenient. Now, I have a review coming up with the AirPods, which is really where that will shine. But I just think it's a nice feature of being able to look down at your phone if you want to. You can look at your watch, and it's just a nice added feature. Also, it makes it easier to customize workouts and what you see on the screen as well. And of course, they have their new Workout Buddy, which is an AI that over time gets to know you more, and it just provides insights, motivation that you can have in your AirPods as you're going along in your workout. I'm about to do something absolutely wild. The biggest change also, I would say, to the Series 11 is they're claiming it is 2 times more scratch resistant and a lot more durable than the previous models. Yeah, this is going. I'm gonna test this because this seems crazy. I'm about to smash an Apple Watch. I have no place doing this, but who else is gonna test this but me? And I have apparently 3 in my possession now. So here we go. Gonna show you the before so you know what it looks like. Okay, we're gonna start nice and simple. Something we do every single day. Just slam it against the counter. Not a single scratch. Okay, next up, common occurrence. Fridge handle. Ow! Ah! Still no scratch. Stainless steel water bottle. Okay, I hit that hard. Okay, look at that. Not a crack, not a scratch. Okay, we gotta do one more intense thing. The things I do for YouTube. Metal spoon. Please don't crack, please don't crack. The anxiety I have right now, the anxiety. Apple, please forgive me if this cracks. Okay. Okay. Oh, I was so worried that was gonna crack and I had to put that into that. One last time. I approve that if you swing it against a dumbbell like we all do with this, it's gonna hold up. Okay, Apple. Thank you. I mean, there's no way Apple couldn't product test this. They're the richest company on earth. What about SE? I won't lie, it feels pretty much the exact same as the Series 11. The only thing I'm gonna say, it's less durable, less battery life, less powerful. That's gonna be the main thing. It can do a lot of the same things as the Series 11. Sleep tracking, heart rate pressure, like it kind of has everything. You just have to think of it as like a less powerful version now of the Series 11, which is awesome because it is probably the most purchased Apple Watch there. And so for most people are going to get all these new features. Like I didn't notice a difference when I had SE versus the Series 11, but I know if I were to go do more exercise, I would start to notice the difference, which we'll talk about at the end, which is best for which person, which talking about more exercise. Let's talk about the Big Bertha. the Ultra. Honestly, just two main changes. One is they changed the outline. So there's like a little black outline before, they made it smaller. So AK, there's just more screen visibility without actually making it bigger, which is really nice because you just have to think the Ultra is designed for like being out in the elements, endurance, which actually makes it really hard to see the screen of your watch quite often, whether it be rain, cloudy conditions, there's mud on it, you're underwater, you're just gonna be able to see it more, so it's more beneficial. Also for me, when I'm running, I want as big surface as possible. And that's one of the reasons I actually really like how big the Ultra is when you're running. Like I don't have to squint my eyes to see. It's like big, bold in your face, which is a benefit. And also they used to have one antenna, but now they have two antennas. So that just means it's a lot more powerful for satellite. Now why that's beneficial is I actually did a trial with Apple at Apple Park and they brought me through an example of like calling 911. They actually called 911. They talked to the San Francisco Police Department ahead of time. It was all set up, but they showed how they were able to call 911 just through using satellite. And why this is so beneficial is say you're hiking, obviously you have the satellite on your phone, but say you trip and fall and you need to call 911 and your phone's falling out of your pocket or you just don't have access to it. You're able to text people if you don't have service. So this is a great benefit for people who go hiking in places that there isn't service. You're going to be able to have access to text your loved ones on the satellite and just be like, hey, I'm safe. Hey, I've been hiking for an hour, and just update. And as someone who comes from a family of hikers, I don't really hike, but I just am going to suddenly be gifting a lot of my family members this, just knowing like my brother's a hiker and he now has a baby. He's got priorities. We need to make sure he is safe at all times. And so I like the idea of him wearing something like this, and so he just has access to communicate us if he were to go off grid. So finally, after all this, if you're asking Keltie, which one should I get? I'm gonna be honest, the SE is probably the most beneficial for most people. If you're someone who does an hour workout max a day, stick with the SE. That's gonna be all you need. If you just want sleep tracking, you want all those features, but you're not doing 2+ hour workouts, you're not training for anything over 10K, you just do the odd run, you do Pilates, you do some weight training, this is all you need. Save your money, you're gonna get all the benefits. Now, let's say you're a girly, you're training for a 10K, you're doing cardio and weight, sometimes the same day. You might do a weight session, then some cardio after. So your workouts are approaching hour and a half, 2 hours. I think you really wanna go to the Series 11 because I find the Series 11 is gonna get anywhere from around 4 to 8 hours of activity before it's drained completely empty. That's the max. So you have to think about 3 hours of exercise is gonna drain about half the battery. The rest of the half of the battery is gonna last you the rest of your day. So that's why it'd be beneficial for you. So just think, hey, I track a walk, I track an hour weights, the Series 11 you will find more beneficial. And also if you're like me and you do weightlifting, and so yes, you will at some point slam your Apple Watch against a barbell, there you go. Now the Ultra, if you are doing workouts over 3 hours, you're gonna find it so beneficial to have the Ultra. For me, I actually had it. I wasn't really using it. And then I started training for a marathon, and now I'm wearing it full time again because I'm training for a marathon. I just need something with a battery life. I want the multiple screens. I wanna see all the different features for running if you really wanna geek out with that. Also, if you're someone who does any kind of endurance, if you do scuba diving, rock climbing, if your thing has to suffer the elements and you wanna be not fragile, the Ultra will definitely be your favorite. And then if you're a girly who cares about style, I won't lie, the Ultra, it's not hideous, but it's sporty. Like it's saying I work out. So is it gonna look cute with a pair of jeans and a tank top? Probably not. Apple Watches are so common, so a regular one just kind of looks, you know, don't wear it to a wedding, but it's pretty neutral now in day to day. And then of course they do have the titanium ones, which are a bit polished, but I don't have access to one of those. And to wrap that up real short, if you only work out an hour-ish, SE, 1 to 2 hours-ish, the Series 11, 2 hours plus endurance events, get the Ultra. And that's just kind of the plain simple, I think, who's best. But let me down in the comments any other questions you have. I'll try and answer a bunch of questions as well. But those are the biggest updates of the Apple Watch this year. And I feel really blessed that I got access to them ahead of time so I could review them for you guys. And this was an amazing opportunity. It was literally a bucket list item for me as a YouTuber to be invited to an Apple event. And it was all possible thanks to you guys. So I just want to say thank you. And in repay, here are my honest thoughts about the Apple Watch. And final thought I have about Apple products. If you're deciding to upgrade or not, this is not financial advice, but here's my rationale. This could be really bad. You got to pick one of two routes. You're either someone who upgrades every year, so your trade-in value is quite high, so you're not paying that much every year, or just wait several years till there's a really big revolutionary change. So if you're someone who hasn't upgraded your Apple Watch in like 4 to 5 years, you're going to see big changes. If you're someone who upgraded last year, yeah, you're not going to see crazy changes, but you'll get more of your money back. So you just got to pick your lane. And just, I hope you didn't buy one a month ago. But let me know down in the comments your guys' thoughts, anything else like this you'd want me to review. And thank you, Apple, for sending me this. And most importantly, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.